draft statement on Palestine, which is a draft statement shared by the Organization of Islamic Countries and Cities that are within those countries. We have few committee reports, recommendations and updates from the Contracts Committee, Markets Committee, Agriculture Committee, Establishment and Appointment Committee. On the AOB clerk, there was 2 AOB sent, one from the Councillor of New Joshua Town and another from the Councillor of Kadingwin South. We will allow each of the councillors at the time to present their AOBs. So please note, the first AOB is the AOB from the Councillor of New Joshua Town. The second AOB is the Councillor of Kadingwin South. And someone moved to adopt the agenda, Bakau, seconded by Bakoten. We start with the review of the minutes. The review of the minutes are dated 12 April 2024. Page 1, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 2, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Page 2, my neighbor is in present, in attendance, while she was not in present.
Can you name the councillor?
The Christian rep.
All right, clerk, take note. Page 3, Savage Ward.
Page 3. Line 3.0.
Page 3.
Yes, Your Worship.
That's page 4.
Yeah, this is page 3.
3.0, yes, go ahead.
It reads, agenda item 3, anything the G is missing, municipal road network project, the letter T also is missing, presentation by Colombian Road and Bridge Company, the letter Y also is missing.
Thank you for that observation. Clerk, take note. Page 4, any observation, amendment, comment? Page 5. Page 6, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 7. Page 8, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 9, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 10. Page 11, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 12, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 13, yes. Page 12? Page 12, 3.49.
2023, 2024.
Yes, 2024. You're right. Clerk, take note. Page 13, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 14, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 15, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 16, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 17, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 18, any observations, amendments, comments? Yes, already one.
Yeah, good morning. Page 3.94. Also,
3.94, page 18.
yes. Also, with a full stop, then Councilor for Kuru record is, spelled
Okay,
wrong.
clerk take notes. So spelling correction and grammatical error. Page 19, any observations, amendments, comments? Page 20, any observations, amendments? Page 21. Page 22. Can someone move to adopt the minutes as amended and it will not seconded by Orol? Clark, did you submit a matters arising? There was none. Alright, then we move to agenda item number 3. I will break tradition a bit since I see the podium is set up by the media and rise to the podium for that deliberation. Can I ask the Councillor of Latrikunda Iringanya to join me? Thank you all, and thank you for your attention. As you all know, I have just returned from a trip of our sister city in Madison, United States, in Wisconsin State. It is a sister city the Canifing Municipal Council has had for the past 9 years. And for the past 3 years, we have been unable to have exchanges, meaning Canifing Municipal Council personnel to visit, and this is because of COVID-19. Pre-COVID, the sister city of Madison and Canifing have an annual event. Staffs, council members, sometimes myself or the deputy mayor would travel to Madison to engage both on cultural exchanges and of course to look at what development agendas we can exchange. From the previous trips, especially my first one, there was a lot of learning we did, and things such as the Mbalit project was modeled after a visit to the streets division of Madison in terms of how they ran the operations. The inspiration to build a library also was emanated from visiting their national library, their municipal library. And since then, we have had exchanges. Also, Madison TV, which is their television station, our KTEB radio today, basically was inspired out of that. So these visits do have benefits if one can take advantage. Over the years also, they have donated to the Canifing Municipal Council 1,000 bins, which was shared amongst our wards. And our University of the Gambia has been benefiting from Madison College based on this relationship as well. So the relationship has been very positive for the people of KM. 2 years ago, the mayor of Madison, being the first ever mayor of Madison to pay a visit to Gambia, came with a 30-man delegation, and they visited various installations of the Canifing municipality. They visited the Ministry of Local Government of Lands, they visited the Ministry of Education, they visited the head of state at the State House, and the relationship became ever close. This time around, myself and the Councillor of Latrikunda Yiringanya Ward, who also serves as the Foreign Relations Chairperson, and the Director of Planning and Development, visited Madison with an agenda to learn about their metro system and to create closer ties. I would like to say that this was the best ever trip we made. I think because the connection between the cities are stronger. And this time around, we did not only meet with council members and the mayor, we were also invited by the governor of Wisconsin to his governor's mansion, and a relationship has been created. Wisconsin state is one of 50 states. However, the state manages a budget of $50 billion, which is 2 times the size of the federal budget of Nigeria. And that just shows you how important these relations can be, especially if a city as small as Kanifing can have a relationship not only with the city of Madison, but with the state of Wisconsin. In summary, we had several important engagements, one being hosted by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation manages billions of dollars of investment from Wisconsin state companies to the rest of the world. And they had visited Gambia under the sister city relationship and have even told us that they are looking at a potential of engaging one of the American companies for potential investment in the Gambia and hopefully within KMC. On top of that, they are looking at the potential of creating more direct routes to the Gambia. And KMC being the tourism capital of our country, to have more Americans interested in what Gambia has to offer. As we know, we get a lot of flights from Europe, but very limited from American tourists. We also had a very good meeting with the Department of Planning and Development. All their engineers came, including their chief engineer, and they had a presentation on zoning, urban planning and development, on road construction, street signage, etc. And they were able to show us a plan of Madison from 1824. And it just shows how well structured and how well planned some of these western cities are. So more than 100 years before the independence of Gambia, they could show us a plan. And they show us how these plans are living, breathing things, and how policymakers inform the development and evolution of these plans, meaning there's a lot of community engagement as well. It's also a lesson, I think, for the country because it shows how decentralized governance is and how important cities are because they have direct contact with the communities they serve. They also explained how the city is responsible for road construction, at least as far as their jurisdiction is concerned. And they have their own road authority, they have their own engineers to ensure that these constructions go according to plan. And I think that is also very important given that KMC has just signed a road construction contract, but we have to rely on the National Road Authority for the expertise. In our Local Government Act, there's a provision for local road authority. So I think this is a sign that this is what is normal around the world and is a lesson for the Gambia if we are to have more capacitized cities, more reactive cities. Also, they show that the street vending is managed by the city and is actually a normal thing. They have a business development unit that supports street vending. It is organized, it is encouraged in many areas, and it is mostly supporting the vulnerable people in society. In their case, most of the people engaged in street vending are usually African Americans and women. And in the case of Madison, they have gone as far as developing a central kitchen where all these people go to cook, which is owned by the city. So the city provides a central kitchen to avoid people cooking in domestic areas and to also control the hygiene, because this is street food, to control the hygienic environment in which these foods are cooked. So it just shows that it is not that it is bad to sell food on the street, it just has to be organized, structured, and supported in a very program manner. I hope I'm not taking all the points that Musa could have spoke about. We also visited UW, University of Wisconsin, and they have a specific program called the 4W program, which is Wisconsin Women to the World. Wisconsin Women Well-Being and to the World. And this is a program they are thinking of how to partner with the University of the Gambia to afford scholarships to young women who want to go to Wisconsin and study. There was also discussions about how they could engage our own university to see if also programs can be extended locally, which is supported by UW. So it is not within, gave the municipality, or the council a great honor. I would like to call up the Deputy Mayor. In 2016, the City of Madison and the City of Canifing established a sister city partnership. And whereas the cities of Canifing and Madison share many similarities and a desire to sustain friendly relations and cooperations in areas of mutual interest, and whereas the residents of both cities have proactively worked to build and maintain strong global relations since the establishment of the Sister City Partnership, and whereas this partnership has empowered residents and communities from both cities to conduct long and short-term projects and initiatives for mutual benefit of all, and whereas both cities have strengthened their relationship through exchange visits, the Mayor of Canifing and delegates have visited Madison on several occasions, and the Mayor of Madison and delegates visited Canifing in 2022. And whereas the City of Madison believes that the sister city relationship between the City of Madison, Wisconsin, USA, and the City of Canifing, the Gambia, West Africa, has promoted and facilitated a greater understanding of cultural, economic, educational ideals of the two communities and their citizenry. And whereas Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda of the Canifing Municipal Council, the Gambia and delegates will be spending the week of April 16 in Madison to engage a number of stakeholders on various topics of mutual interest, including city planning, sustainability, economic development, and entrepreneurship. Now therefore be resolved that I, Mayor Satya Rose Conway, on behalf of residents of Madison, Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim April 16, 2024 to April 21st, 2024 as Canifing Municipal Council Week in the City of Madison. All right. Aside from that, the Mayor of Madison gave me a surprise honor by affording me the key to the City of Madison, presented in sisterhood to Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda, Canifing Municipal Council, the Gambia. But this one is mine. I have to take it. So without further ado, I would like to invite the Foreign Relations Chairperson, Mr. Musaba, to also give a brief summary of his experiences there.
Well, good morning. Lord Mayor, I think you've said it all. I'm honored to be part of the delegation to Madison. It was a great experience. Definitely, I think we've been inspired by the Madison City Council in different aspects. We had lot of interactions with them in the areas like education, planning, as rightly mentioned by the Lord Mayor. We equally visited their metro system, the bus system. As we all know, we intend to implement similar thing. They had a very good model that we can replicate here in the Gambia, in our municipality. I'm pretty sure it can be something that will benefit and enhance the livelihood of our municipality. Indeed, they hailed the council greatly. The fact that we are identified as the most serious partners as foreign relations is concerned. For you have cities like Nigeria and other countries, so we pan out to be one of the best, one of the most proactive city council. So equally, we had discussion on how to support women on education, particularly in the area of health. I believe we had a great deal set up an ad hoc committee to work with our committee in the Madison in order to bring education support to the people of the residents of Carnifing. Once again, I would repeat, I think Mayor and that of Clark has done a tremendous job. That has manifested from receiving this proclamation and that of the key to the city. Hadn't been the relationship wasn't that strong and so proactive, they wouldn't have this confidence to better partner with us. I think Mayor said it all. Then just in brief, I thank everybody for your kind attention. Anyway, thank you.
All right. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was a good trip, especially the key to the city, which is a trust and economy, and it symbolized the free will of your movements within that great city. But I didn't see you to talk about the waste management, which is our concern, and which led to KMC. Some time ago, when you visited I think the first trip at Madison, they have something like the promise of the collaboration to landfill and also waste management. But during your deliberations, we did not hear anything about waste management.
All right, I will answer maybe the foreign relations chair will add. We visited the street division again. We visited a transfer station, but it's not a place we have not visited before. We could not make it to the landfill, but when we visited the transfer station, basically there was bins, etc. We spoke about some of the, I would not say promises, but some of these things they said they would intervene in before COVID. As you know, before COVID-19, we visited there and they talked about their gas, the methane gas machine that transfers methane gas into electric power. The county executive who was there at the time is no longer there because he went through elections. So COVID-19 happened in 2020 and that relationship could not be continued. But basically what we reminded them of was some of the things they said they could help the municipality with. One of them being there was fire tankers or fire trucks that they were decommissioning. There was also electric cars they said they would give. So we have engaged the police division again through one of their aldermen, Councillor, is it Nazri, Councillor Nazri, who promised to personally take up the issue again. But we did pay a brief visit at the streets division. And I think they have sent an email. I think Lamin Sanyan got the email, if I'm not mistaken. They did send an email to begin the discussions again.
Yeah, okay. And also the library. There was a time when I think the former education committee chair, we went to Medicine for our collaboration with the how best to establish a library. I think the survey was done here through Education Committee. But since then, you know, and when we have this project, CAT project, which have 3 components, and which education is part of it. And right now, I think the library is about to finish. So what are they going to revitalize the relationship to make sure that they will be equipped or also help the library to function as we wish to?
Yeah, so I think Lamin Sanyang, I think is currently talking to them. And I think he's personally extended the invitation to Greg, who is the former director of the library, but he's no longer the director, his deputy is in charge. But I think the CAP team is already in talks with them to help resource the library. CAP manager, if you can communicate that, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lord Mayor. Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor. That was a brilliant point. As you rightly mentioned, our Mayor rightly mentioned, the concept of the library actually, the project, since we have a funding for the construction of the project, we have been conducting a joint meeting with the management team. Assist us technically, we have been providing the support. And all recent, when we are much close to finishing of the library, we develop a catalog and send it to them to review it and advise and to see whether they can also support types of libraries. So we are in constant. Last week we developed an application letter for them to come and attend to apply for the launching of the library. So we are in contact with the project officer directly communicating after the communicated with them, publicly engaging them for the communication. Thank you.
Yes, youth councillor.
What this week, last week? Because of the wife.
Congratulations for a good trip. You have made mention of training programs for women, and I know that Madison per se is a state. Wisconsin is a state that has a very large youth population, and there are also a lot of youth activities that are taking up there, even though it's considered popular. I'd also like to know what are some of the plans in place. Is it just women they're looking at today, or are there other parts where we can also include young people? That's one. Two, we have done a good job in keeping touch, and we have done a good job in following. Most of our problems have been not being able to follow on some of the promises or some of the plans and projects that we've been working on with our partners. So I hope going forward we will be able to keep in touch and see that we can follow up on some of these, even if not promises, but some of these proclamations that have been made. Because I believe that there is so much that we can do from our sister city partnerships, but unfortunately we are not taking advantage of it. So if we can at least consider following up more on some of the projects that we have started and some of the discussions that we have had, I believe we will be able to get a lot from it. Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Just to add, I think it's going to be like the youth cycle. Although the women will benefit more, but however, like Mayo highlighted here, we intend to have some partnership in the area of street vending, to work with the business rep and the women rep and any relevant stakeholder to see how do we connect so that each area can be fully handled. With Alan, is it Alan? We are in contact. He just wrote. I believe we will share information, inshallah.
All right. Okay, so we move to the fourth agenda item. So there's been a communique from the Organization of Islamic Countries. The communique is before this OIC summit they have sent a draft statement to all cities within the OIC membership to support a joint communique to talk about the issue of Palestine. Now, every city is to review the statement, decide whether to adopt it, and then we can send our official statement that we have accepted this joint communique or not. So basically, they have sent it to all the municipalities and cities within the OIC membership, the Organization of Islamic Country membership. So I'm sure every municipality in the Gambia has received a copy. So clerk will just read out the statement. We can open deliberations and then we can vote as to whether we support the joint communique or not. Clerk, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm prepared to read this statement from the sent by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to the Islamic Republic of Iran. The statement is the permanent mission of the Islamic Republic of Iran to the Organization of the Islamic Conference, OIC, presents its compliments to the Secretariat General of the OIC and has the honor to inform the latter that the exhibition of atrocities committed by the Zionist regime in the Gaza Strip and the occupied territories of Palestine, leading to merciless massacre of innocent people and the destruction of infrastructure and human resources in Palestine, has caused deep anguish and grief among Muslims worldwide. Given the special significance of mayors in urban society and their capacity to promote human values and human rights, the municipality of Isfahan, as one of the prominent municipalities in the Islamic Republic of Iran, has proposed the publication of a joint statement by mayors of Islamic cities to condemn the inhuman crimes of the Zionist regime in Gaza and the occupied territories of Palestine, and declare support for the Palestinian people. The proposed text of this sentiment or statement has been prepared by the municipality of Isfahan and is attached herewith for consideration. The joint statement issued by the mayors of the Islamic cities, members in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, on condemnation of the Zionist regime's current crimes in the Gaza Strip. During the current crisis in the occupied Palestine territory since October 2023, the Zionist apartheid regime has overwhelmingly increased its atrocities in Palestine, killing more than 21,000 people then, among them about 15,000 women and children. These war crimes and atrocities have only dispelled any perspective for an immediate ceasefire and opening of new humanitarian corridors for assistance to the people of Gaza and all the occupied land of Palestine, but also have opened a new front for failing an unprecedented war in the Western Asian region. We, the mayors of the Islamic cities, while warning about the deterioration of the situation in the occupied Palestine territory, declare the following: condemn in the strongest terms and crimes committed by the Zionist regime against the oppressed people of Palestine, including all those living in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and all the parts of the occupied Palestine territory, and all the Palestinian refugees living abroad. Express our grave concern over the severity of the crimes committed against the oppressed people of Palestine that has reached a new highest level, defining for the human race new aspects of terms such as cruelty, barbarism, and savagery, definitions which previously were not as tangibly comprehensible. Condemns the deliberate and purposeful inhuman acts of the Zionist regime in targeting civilian citizens, destroying the urban features in geographical space, and seeking to simultaneously demolish urban spirit and structure to void the territories under its aggression of not only civilization but any sign of life, in clear violation of of the resolutions adopted by the United Nations Security Council and General Assembly, and also the universally recognized rules of humanity. Stress the necessity of preserving the cultural, historical, and social identity of the Palestinian territories under the aggression of the Zionist regime's military machine, and reject strongly any act of this fake regime in charging the value, religious, and cultural structure of the Palestinian territory through the destruction of the Palestinian cities or forced displacement of the Palestinians. Call on the international community, especially the mayors of Muslim and non-Muslim cities around the world, to denounce these acts of the Zionist regime that are violating human rights, humanitarian law, and international law, and also respective international covenants and instruments. Urge our governments and also the international community to make every effort to rectify the situation in the Palestinian territory by putting all possible pressures on the Israeli regime to stop its military aggression in Gaza and other parts of the Palestinian territory, reopening all humanitarian corridors, rejecting any act of forced displacement of the Palestinian civilians, and providing the Palestinians with all necessary financial and technical assistance to rebuild their destroyed cities and towns. Finally, declare our full solidarity with the Palestinian people and express our full readiness to provide any assistance to these afflicted people to return them to an honorable, independent, free, and prosperous life in an independent Palestinian state with Al-Quds, Al-Sharif as its eternal capital. That's the end of the statement. Thank you.
Okay, that's the statement. Can you stay up there in case you have any questions? Yes, you Councillor.
Yes, I'd just like to say that I am very pleased that we are taking a position in the sense that
we have not yet taken a position.
Okay, but we are aligning to taking a position. For a country like Gambia that has been colonized, I think it is important that we stand with people that are being oppressed. The issue of Palestine is no news to anyone, and I believe that as Muslims, one, and as people who believe in the book, and people who also believe in justice and truth, it is important that we show that we are in support of the Palestinian people and their struggle. We have all seen what has happened in recent times, but it's also important for people to realize that this didn't happen overnight. This has been something that has been going on since 1947, and we have seen that the world has turned a blind eye to what is happening to the Palestinian people. A day doesn't go by where someone is not murdered in Palestine. A day doesn't go by where people in the West Bank are not losing their land. A day doesn't go by where young children are becoming orphans in the land of Palestine. And I keep on saying, from the river to the sea, I am hoping that one day the Muslim world, especially for us who have been through what Palestine has been through, will wake up and support them. And I'm happy that today the Islamic cities are taking a stand, and I'm happy that we are showing that we are going to support our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And I hope we will, and I also want to congratulate the government of the Gambia for also taking a stand, because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had put out a statement to say that they were in support of Palestine and against everything that has happened in the Gaza Strip and West Bank. Going forward, I also believe that we need to be able to realize that there are no fine lines when it comes to issues like oppression. There are no fine lines when it comes to issues of justice. It is either you are with the oppressed or you are with the oppressor. And today I believe that my colleagues will join and we will take a stand against what is happening and the barbaric state of the Israeli government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think this is one of the greatest moves that Council will take, because as a Muslim, we believe in Quran. And if you look at the Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Nisa, Allah explained the behavior of the Israelis in detail. They are the worst type of creation. Before today, this was mentioned in the Quran before all of us were born. And I think that is manifested maybe just 20 or 30 years ago. What's happening there is to create human rights violation, especially the children. If you look how they maltreat the children, and I think, you know, as my colleague Councillor says, every Gambian should against this barbaric act, because for us, we are Muslim, and even if we are the Muslim, we are human beings, and every human beings deserve dignity and respect. So I'm in full support of these things without consulting anybody, because my religious dictate me to support it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just to add on what my colleague said, and then I think it would be a big credit on us if we join and then support this idea. I think it's a very good move if we do so. Just like others said, and then Allah also said it in the Quran, when you kill one mankind, you kill the entire mankind. So I think that we should support this, and then also this against human rights, and not about even Islamic, but the human rights violation itself alone. We should not, support that. But I think also, just like the Council of Youth Rep said, we would commend the government of the day for bold enough to support this, to be honest. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes. Mr. Community.
Good morning, and just to stand in solidarity with my colleague councillors who are in support of this communique. I'm going to say never too late. This should have been done a long time ago, a very long time ago. But again, I just want to applaud the initiative that it has been done, because a lot of people were looking forward to it. Like my colleague councillor, the youth rep, has said, I've seen the communique from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I was like, wow, okay. I guess God has answered the prayers of many of us who've been praying that stands be taken as a country and as a people. Last week, I went to the police station and saw a man who's been detained 2 days, and I engaged the guy. And his crime was he wrote on a placard and stood in front of the American embassy, "Free Palestine." He was arrested and detained, and he's going back and forth reporting. That's his only crime. He took it upon himself to say, what is happening to our brothers? I say it is not about religion, it's about fundamental human rights. As human beings, it is our right to live because God gave us that right. So nobody has the right to not agree with us and take our lives. Young people, the children and the women are the most victims in these cases, and we should not watch and see it. So honestly, and it is said, you know, evil is not committed by those who take the barrel of the gun or those who kill. It's committed by us who sit and watch and do nothing and say nothing. So I think we are now trying to take ourselves out of that sector who are saying nothing and doing nothing. This should not be an issue of a long debate. We wanted to do it, but of course our powers were limited. Now we've been given the chance to come together, add our voice, in the many voices who are going to stand up and tell the whole world, no, what is happening is wrong, what is happening is not right, and what is happening should not happen. And by that I said, I am in full support of whatever the communique is that is going to make that change to stop what is happening to our brothers and sisters, our loved ones in Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think this is about world peace. The Palestinian nation, not only the Arabs suffer, but Jews also suffer. The international community suffers, the journalists suffer, UN suffer. Almost all the countries in this world are in this problem. So when there is peace in that place, the whole world will have peace. So it's about humanity and humanitarian law and humanitarian right and justice. So this is about peace. It's a question of peace. A lot of money has been put into this conflict. A lot of lives have been lost. So when there is peace, We must remember that the Arabs, the Jews, they come from the same family. They are the children of Prophet Ibrahim. The other mother is Hagar, Sarah, the other one is Hagar. The same family. So we should make efforts that there is peace between the two families and the world will have peace. And let us not say that it is there, the Gaza, the Arab and the Jews. It doesn't concern us. Today when COVID came, we were talking about China. But it came all over the world, business, economics. So the peace in that place is peace for the whole. So we should make sure that we do all effort that is possible to make sure that peace comes to that. So on that note, I stand for peace to be in that place. It's a holy land also. There's a mosque where the Jews pray, the Muslims pray, the Christians pray. Today, the Christians suffer, the Muslims suffer, the Jews suffer. So when we work for peace and we talk about for peace, we should not always say to be done. We must also work to see done. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other comments, I'd just like to make a short one. I think basically what everybody said is how everybody feels, and no longer just in the Muslim countries, but I think across all faiths, people have the same feeling now. And for the first time, even in the Western world, we see protests that have no end in sight, and they are now countrywide. Even the most liberal people, even the most pro-Israel people are now commenting and condemning Israel's actions. I think I just watched Senator Bernie Sanders, who's known to be one of the biggest supporters of Israel, saying your right to existence doesn't mean you have the right to terrorize and victimize others. The mayor of Madison, I saw she put a statement, and I know these are the most liberal people. So basically, what is happening is unprecedented, but I think we could all see it coming, because this thing has been years and years in the making. You cannot permanently have people in an open-air prison. They don't have the right to travel. They don't have the basic access to water if it doesn't come from Israel. They don't have the right to walk if it doesn't come from Israel. They don't have the right to do business if it doesn't come from Israel. They don't have the right to leave their country without authority from Israel. So Gaza is an open-air prison. They are an oppressed people. And God bless his soul, Nelson Mandela was the biggest fighter and advocate for the people of Palestine. And even there's a statue of him in, I think, Ramallah, which is in the West Bank. There's a statue of Nelson Mandela there, because his fight of appetite is what is going on in West Bank and Gaza. And this is all a manufactured crisis, I believe. These are the errors of history. Pre-World War I is when the Zionist movement started. Or World War II, sorry, pre-World War II. And they were not considering people who were already settling there. Before Zionism came, Jews and Palestinians were living in peace, side by side. Christians, Muslims, Jews were all living in that holy land. But because of various international agendas, they carved out an area and said this is for the Palestinian refugees, and they carved out an area, and then they created wars for many, many, many generations. Now you have children in the millions being born as refugees. But nevertheless, what is happening today is unbelievable. I think in the latest news, 34,000 people indiscriminately murdered, 78,000 injured. Out of these 34,000, 12,000 are children. I think almost 400 reporters and journalists killed. Hundreds of UN workers murdered. Almost 1,000 doctors murdered. Every mosque destroyed. Every school flattened. 34 hospitals flattened. Thousands of buildings destroyed. All in the name of security. But what is happening now, I think we should all at least have some solace that in the first time in world history, global opinion is against Israel. With all the might of the Israeli government, with all their power, because they control America. They control the biggest nation, the most powerful nation in the history of the world. They control it 100%. And they control most of the major media networks, most of the biggest businesses in the world. But with all that power, global opinion for the first time, and it's across cultural backgrounds, across religious backgrounds, across race and creed, majority of human beings now, whether it be in the Western world or here, are now supporting Palestine. And for the first time, an American president may lose an election because of Palestine. For the first time. You know, even the head of the US Senate, Senator Chuck Schumer, who is a Jew, and one of the biggest supporters of Israel, stood on the Senate floor and condemned Benjamin Netanyahu. He condemned him. And for me, I think this is not even about the people of Israel. I think it's about the president of Israel. Because he has criminal charges against him. He doesn't want this war to end. If it ends, he faces criminal charges. I think even public opinion in Israel is for this war to stop. So today, I understand, when I was listening to the news, the people of Hamas and the Israeli government met in Cairo, and I think they are very close to a final cessation of hostilities, and we pray that this stops. You know, you can only imagine. Forget about even just the deaths. Imagine now how those people are living without food, no water, no medicine, in open air. People defecating around, people living in all sorts of unhygienic conditions. You know, so definitely this is not about who you support or what you look like or your religion. This is just about your basic humanity. You know, and God forbid it happen to any other person. So I am in wholesome support of this communique. You know, so without dragging this much further, all in favor of the communique from the OIC say aye. Aye. All against say nay. Motion is passed. Clerk, thank you. We move to committee reports. We start with the Contracts Committee. CEO, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning to you all, and welcome back to yet another very important council meeting. I stand before you presenting on behalf of the Contract Committee on the progress of the Kanifing Municipal Road Network. That's the introduction of the contract signing and payment schedule. We just want to inform you that we are so delighted to announce the official signing of the contract for KMRNP between the KMC and the Longdon Roads and Bridge Company. This signifies significant achievement marks the inception of a transformative endeavor aimed at bolstering transportation infrastructure within the Kanifing municipality. Yeah, we have the contract overview. The TMRNP contract encompasses the construction, as you all know, roads and drainage infrastructure across various sections of the Kanifing municipality. Longyear Roads and Brick Company Limited, the appointed contractor, as you all know, will undertake the following key activities. As you all know, the contract is into 3 lots. Lot 1, construction of 10.15 kilometers of road. Lot 2, construction of 5.20 kilometers of roads and bridges. Lot 3, construction of a 5.9 kilometer drainage system. The scope of works as defined includes road works for lot 1, 2, and 3. The project is divided into 3 lots. 1, you have the roads, 2, and bridges. Lot 3, the drainage. The total contract price for lots 1, 2, and 3 is 300 million. The project is set to span 60 months, that's 5 years, commencing in 2024 and concluding in 2028. The implementation schedule, construction activities will commence immediately following the contract signing and upon receipt of the initial advance payment by Longyear Roads and Brick Company, tentatively scheduled for May 2024. As you all know, the contract is being signed in the morning in the presence of the Lord Mayor of the Council. The initial payment plan, there was an initial payment plan. The company also has a proposed payment plan. The company has proposed adjusting the payment schedule to align with their goal of completing the project within 3 years. Though we signed 5 years, but according to them, they want to fast track it to complete it within 3 years. So that's why they came up with this initial payment plan. That's for 2024, we're expecting to pay 45 million to Longyear. 2025, 95,625. 2026, 95,625. 2027, 31,875 million. 2028, 31,875. But Council's consideration and modification. While acknowledging the desire to accelerate the project timeline, the committee also took into account the Council's financial constraints. Because this is not the only project that we are having so many projects. So we also looked at it carefully and also have to modify the payment plan. This is the latest modification. In 2024, we're expecting to pay 45. 2025, 63,750,000. 2026, 63,750,000. 2027, 63,750,000. And 28, 63,750,000. This is the rationale for adjustment. This adjustment aims to strike a balance between providing sufficient funding for project progression in the initial years and ensuring a steady and sustainable cash flow for both parties throughout the project duration. We believe this planned approach will facilitate smoother project execution and minimize financial risk. 9, you have the commitment to progress.
Point of order. Yeah, I think any presentations or any document need to be sent to General Council should pass to all the council members. And a sensitive contract or a sensitive, I don't know whether it's an update or a contract or whatsoever, but I think it should be shared with the council members before 4 days before the General Council. And as far as I know, it doesn't done in that way. And if you go to the usual procedures of council, that's what is in that. So if I am to go by, I think, presenting this this update is a violation of our procedures.
Yeah, so I think if I was CEO, I wouldn't even go through all these details because the contract is just signed today. But I think this was a motion passed last General Council that we award a contract. So it's just updating on the contract awarded. but a copy should be sent to everybody. But this is a decision already done anyway by at last General Council. So if he presents and shares, or he shares and presents, it is done already.
Yeah, my lord, I'm telling you the proceedings. Whether the contract is signed, that is another thing.
Yeah.
Because you need to update the council. But if you update me without, because maybe I might have a lot of questions to after the presentations, but I will not know because it was put in front of me. I cannot say anything. Whether the contract was signed in good faith or not, or is there anything behind? I don't know. I might raise those questions. But if I am presented today, it sounds funny anyway.
No, what I'm saying, I think I'm saying, if I were CEO, because this was signed today, I would have furnished the document. Then next General Council, I will go over it. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, it is inconsequential. Whether he goes over it next week or this week, I'm just giving general saying, it doesn't matter because the contract is already signed based on a decision and a resolution from the General Council. Last Council, they go ahead and sign and award this contract. So basically, that's all I'm saying. So I think what the Council was saying is, if you present this as it is, without them having the document in front of them, they have not digested it. He won't be in a position to ask you questions.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying you can postpone it till next General Council because it's inconsequential. Yes.
Okay, that's true. We can also do that. Yes. Thank you.
This was your only update?
Yeah.
Okay, then if that's the case, then we will cover it next General Council. Markets Committee.
Yes, thank you so much, Lord. Good morning or afternoon to everyone. We need to update the General Council on the progress made about afternoon to you all. We need to update the General Council about the progress made on the proposed development of Mbari Padembo, which is Serekunda market. But we have a setback because I engaged the market manager and the contractor, proposed contractor, who do the designing and costing to get me the detailed copy of the costing and the design of the market that needs to be constructed, and the proposed PPP with the vendors. That's the pre-financing by the market vendors. The amount involved, meaning how much should each vendor pay to collectively, meet the cost of the structure. And this was communicated to the designer and the market manager, but up till this morning I couldn't get it from them. So they show it to me, and I asked them to make certain adjustments because they don't have the breakdown of the BOQ. It's just a bulk and the breakdown of each shop, each vendor should pay at what cost. So I asked them to do that adjustment before the General Council, and up to today it's not been presented. So I think we will refer this also to another meeting. Thank you.
This is the Pandembo.
Yes, very fine.
All right. So the councillor decided to defer the Mbari Pandembo issue till the next meeting. Agriculture Committee. Do you have a presentation?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Class office, did you share the Agri Committee's document? Huh?
It was late. We couldn't see what it was late for.
So I think it comes back to the same issue. I think for now, 3 general councils. The councillors are complaining not having the documents ahead of time. But if we are to follow the precedents, since the CEO cannot present, you cannot present. So clerk's office should make sure that if documents are submitted late, you should not even add it to the agenda. Because this is not... yeah, then don't add it. Then don't add it to the agenda.
Too bad.
So it must be submitted with the agenda and the minutes.
Okay. With that said and done, then we follow the due process then.
Thank you. How about establishment and appointment? Is it set?
Yeah, last time we made a presentation here, but it's only the date. You know, last time when during our presentation, it's other day you left for funeral at I think Pastor's funeral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We present the awards night, the documents of the award night. But at that time, the date was on the 20th. Sorry, on the 20th.
But it's the same document.
Yeah, it's the same document.
It's presented.
Yes.
Everybody has it.
Yes. All of them.
If you don't have it, we're going to reject him. He's rejecting everybody. All right.
No, they have it at the same time.
Okay, it's the same document. All right.
Yeah, so it's just only the date.
All right.
I think what I'm appealing to all the subcommittee members, logistics, finance and fundraising, award committee, you know, they all have to meet and finalize before Thursday, because we want to finalize everything. The date is just next week Saturday. So, and we want this event to be a very successful event, and we have dignitaries in all walks of life, you know, and also our people, our elders, the people of this municipality, you know, all walks of life, including our strong women, all sectors will be awarded. So we want all the councillors to be participate fully, and the tables will be there, and the decorations will be perfect. Also, even the companies and other private entities we wrote to, they are responding bit by bit. You know, so we want it to be a very successful night, and we want, you know, the council members to be part of it fully. Both the directors, the invitations are ready, the awards are progress, and before the awards will be ready, and we want to make it a very successful event.
So you are just updating, huh?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, subcommittee members, please meet. Secondly, I think the invitation should leave before the end of this week, so people can have 1 week notice. I think the committee chair has also mentioned we should really prioritize local heroes, like community people making a difference. Even when this poster was posted, I saw some comments. One person said, "Don't forget this local hero, blah, blah, blah." So I think it is more important to recognize people making a difference at the grassroots than even people paying tax. Tax is an obligation, but somebody volunteering at the grassroots, that is not an obligation. That you are volunteering. So we should put high priority on those people. But please, let's join hands, make this thing a success. Let's make sure the invitations leave before the end of the week, so people have 1 week notice. Telling note.
Yeah, no. Okay. Like I said, you know, we have different categories of award, and I think the awards are something award. The companies are only, I think, are 10.
That's a lot.
10. No, the businesses.
That's a lot.
Yeah, including the residential tax and commercial tax.
It's a lot.
Okay, Councilor, raise your hand.
Compared to 30-something award, we'll be going to our staff and also our markets. You know, if you look, I think KMC, this is Bugasila may disagree with me that this is fourth of its kind, but I believe in this magnitude, this is the first of its kind. So we might learn along the process. Maybe next year we prepare more. And if you look at the categories of the award, the women's vendors are there, and also the best staff of country, and all the units heads. We task all the units heads to submit their list latest tomorrow, so that the award committee is supposed to meet today, but because of the general council, we make it tomorrow. It's a 4-man committee. Yeah. They will sit, and deal with all the recommendations. Every unit you have to submit 3 lists. Then from there, the awards committee will look into it, and come up with a very deserved individual that will go on that prize. And I think in all categories. So it's not fair to have 35,000 households or 35,000 compounds. You select only one among the residential. So we said now we will select 5. We will consult the rates manager to see who are the best 5 and paying on time. They have not yet. There are some places, places like Bakau, they don't used to pay taxes. That's it. It's not.
I disagree. Bakau. Yes.
Okay, Christian.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, order. If you object, you say point of order. Bakau will continue. All right.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Councillor for Ibo Town, the Chairman of the committee, for your good work. It's a lot of initiative, very, very timely to engage with our residents, to appreciate them for the collaboration, because this is a collaborative work. Council cannot do it without the residents' support, without their buy-in. But my concern is, it's not a show-off event. It's not just for the optics, if I want to believe the objectives of this hours, night, and dinner, whatever. Let's not focus on the elitists. Like the Lord Mayor said, tax payment is an obligation. It's a responsibility. We're giving you something and then you give something. So it's a give and take. So it's not like we're doing them a favor or we're trying to massage them. But however, we can just nominate 1 or 2 to show them that it is very important to pay your tax on time and not have any arrears or not owe the council. But I believe that the most people we should concentrate is the grassroots, the people who are mostly forgotten, the people who believe that they will never have the spotlight or the shine, the people who people don't even talk about, to bring them from where they are, shine them and tell them you're appreciated. Whatever you are doing, we are watching, we have seen you, we've heard you, we feel you. That will be more impactful than doing the optics of thing or whatever. But I mean, 2, 3 from the LTH, corporate business, whatever. Since it's going to be a yearly thing, that's the plan, a yearly thing. Every year we take 2 or 3 from that, but then we pull, because the grassroots, they are more. The people who are not working, the people who don't have businesses, they are more than the business people. So let's not put our focus more on the business people who are doing what they're supposed to do, their obligation, fulfilling it. And we go to the grassroots people and, appreciate them.
So if I can just add, I think when this awards flyer came out, 90% people appreciated it. But the 10% who were criticizing it, one thing they were saying is, why are you awarding taxpayers who are obligated to pay their tax? Now, I see some merit, but not as much. But I think I'm also with Councillor of the Christian community, is that, okay, we want to encourage people to pay taxes. So, of course, the guy who pays their tax first, on time, and has no debt, we should recognize that there to encourage others that, okay, this guy is law-abiding, okay? But at the same time, I am also for to have more concentration on the grassroots. It's not only good for community spirit, it is also good even for your politics, right? To show that you don't forget. Because since we've come here, every ward has had people who are volunteering, etc., Red Cross, intervention, blah, blah, blah. There have been imams who have been outstanding, or priests who are doing a lot for the community. So I think there should be a lot of concentration on these guys. And if every ward was given an opportunity to come up with somebody, and every nominated rep is given an opportunity to come up with somebody, even the alcalo, who is an alcalo who is doing their work. We complain about alcalos not doing their work, but there must be one who is doing exactly as council wants. So I think it's an opportunity to recognize the forgotten heroes. The taxpayers, even I have more bias towards even the residential taxpayer than the corporate, right? Because residential is not most of them are not making money from their house, but they still have to get up and come and pay their house rate. But if you are doing business, you pay your insurance, you pay this, you pay this, you pay. Rates is just one cost. It's not even a big cost to a business guy, you know. So I think there's a credibility to what both of you are saying. But I am for let's just be more biased towards the grassroots, because if we don't recognize them, nobody will recognize them. All of you have somebody you are really happy with because they really volunteer in your ward, you know. So anyway, that's just advice.
Yeah, look, if you look at the categories of the award, all the WDC, the Ward Development Committee, which represent the ward. And these people are one of the most important individuals, individuals or committees we have within the municipality.
So you're recognizing the WDC itself?
Yeah, each WDC will have an award. And we will give them invitations. Each ward will give you 2 invitations. And with the alcalo are excluded. And we might select maybe one of each ward, one imam, one the alcalo, because some wards they do not have alcalo. You know, places like Carifin, they do not have alcalo. I think Carifin and 3 wards, Latikuna and stuff. So, if we said we will award individuals, we might have one old woman that is cleaning the roads at Ibota every day. But if we give that old woman invitations to come and grace the award night, and when we say the awards of Ibota and Joseph, if that woman to come and receive the awards on behalf of that community, then it's a big plus. And I think also the women's vendors, they pay every day $10, you know, to award them. I think, you know, we recognize all these sectors. That's why we are awarding the WDs and the women's, if you want to do, we have 18 markets. So 8 markets, if you want to award them, then I think we might spend the whole night awarding without any. So we will learn along the process. Maybe next year, we will make it big and better.
So now let me give you a small tweak, what you are saying, but with a little difference. And I think this will be more beneficial to us as politicians. So for example, instead of you say, Mayor, I award you, because you leaked that secret, say, okay, it's not leaked. I think it's leaked. Okay, now it's leaked, so yeah,
that's why we exclude you to the award committee.
So now what I'm suggesting, the Mayor's Award, I would rather dedicate it to somebody I believe, as a mayor, in the community, deserves this high honor. As a WDC, rather than you award me as a WDC, I think it is better if the WDC sat and say, boy, who should we award in our community? So it will be called the Igbo Town WDC Award. Then go the Igbo Town WDC Award. Yen wa Ward Development Committee of Igbo Town, yalen di talk ngen tana nit, ngen joko that high honor. Bunga hamne WDC be more recognized Koko. Understand? In that way, we will look like servants, like we are not recognizing ourselves. The community recognizes us through Sani Karta. Okay? We are going to recognize, because it's KMC's award, we are going to recognize people in the community. So rates office, instead of them recognizing themselves, let them recognize a rates payer they know for many years, rates. Then the community will really own this thing. Understand? And then we will have more respect. You understand what I'm saying? I think nyari muna nyonyo together, because the WDC will feel that you respect them if you give them that honor. And we will call it the Igbo Town New Joswang Special Award, Ward Award, goes to Pasit Sise. Understand? It's not the mayor awarding them, it's not the councillor awarding them, it's not a staff awarding them, but Ibo down WDC. Then it will be it's an award show for the community. Understand? Man, I think that this is man luma gina content. Instead of man am award, man sma award ma joko nit koku happy. You understand? And we say this is the mayor's award. Legi ngene ma mayor kan nga fogg ne nga wara award. Then let me think who I believe has gone over and beyond in the municipality. Man, this is the mayor's award. Man, I think that would be a win-win. Yes. Sorry for leaking your secret. I thought I saw it something. But I saw it in the minutes. Yes, go ahead.
I think that is, for example, there is no award or mayor's award. We just, the committee want to give the award leadership by example or leadership by excellence. So if you happen to qualify for that, what you have it.
But people will know that I cheated.
No,
they will say I cheated.
It's not you.
They will think
it's not you. It's the committee. So the thing is, the others will be incorporated. Ideas that you have promoted. I think, Chairman, those ideas can be incorporated. But it is both the idea, the objective is both internal and outside. So all of them will be.
Lord, I think your suggestion is brilliant. Yeah, to be honest, we can still make it. But if you look at the intention is to motivate also our staffs. That's why we award each unit of this municipality. There will be a awardee in that unit. Because it's not only our intention is only the taxpayer, but also our staff that are working, that are implementing council's projects and other things.
Yeah, the other one is the staff is fine.
Yes.
I'm just saying in terms of the political body.
Yes.
So I saw this, that's why I thought you linked it. On page 22, on the minutes, it says type of award, exemplary leadership, category Lord Mayor, number of award 1.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe...
Okay, now I've got some minutes. It's in the minutes, that's why I thought...
Yeah, but Lord, whether you know it or not, you deserve an award. It's not about... You are taxpayers. You have...
No, but what I prefer, if the mayor's award for exemplary leadership, we say, I Tali Ahmed Bensouda hand the mayor's award for exemplary leadership in the community to Habib Sise, I think that is more powerful than I get the award, me carrying the award home. You know? Yes. All right, yes, telling me no. Okay, telling me no.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's better late than never because this is very good. And then we are part of the subcommittee.
Order, 1 meeting.
We are part of the subcommittees that are organizing this whole program. I think there are certain things we do not want to reveal it here, but some of the points that you guys have mentioned here, we are on it. And then we will make sure that it will be a surprise. And these are some of the things that we are even talking about during our committee meetings. And then we have very good people in our committees. I can say they are experts in program management. And then for sure, come on that day, you will see a lot of surprises. Even there are certain things you said it here should have not been said because we know what we are doing. Our homework. We are doing our homework very well, and then this is the first time we as a council, since we came into office, we are organizing such. You would might miss 1 or 2 things, but come next year, you will see different organization. It will be more organized, and then the way you wanted it will go beyond that. And then I once did this at my ward level.
Yes, I attended.
You attended it. You see how successful it was. Part of that, give me second term in office. And then that time I could remember you tell me that, boy, and you the political point there. There are people that I recommend within my community, and then I know people who are doing voluntary services. And that's where this thing came up. That guy, everybody can attest to that. He is a guy who normally wake up 4 a.m. and then start sweeping. Everybody recommends. That's why that point came up. If we sat as a ward development committee, I know my committee would recommend that old man. At our level, we did that. If you do it at council level, that would put more weight on this program, and then people would look into this great council. I think the entire council members here, we all have role to play. Either you are part of the committees, steering committee or not, we all have role to play to support the process, to make it success. And then don't see yourself if you are not part of the committee. But if you have expertise, come and join us. You see the chairman. I have the best chairman. Come on with this brilliant idea. Definitely, chairman, congrats.
So all I'm saying, telling you no.
Yes, yeah, man.
All I'm saying is just advice. I don't think you have to wait for next year to make it very good. You can make it good, you have time. So if, for example, farmers rep, if it's a farmers rep, choose a woman in a garden to recognize, that's more powerful. You know, and recognize that woman. If transport rep recognize a taxi man who has shown to be very good, or some transporter, or even apparently, or even these boys, I don't know. They are heroes, everyday heroes in the community that are overlooked. You know. So basically, it's like you see these awards. Me, you can give me 1,000 awards, and there's very few awards that will be, hey, oh my God, I cannot believe it. But a normal guy, you give them an award by a WTC or by a councilor, they will never forget it till they die, and their family. I was at a program yesterday. Who was there? I was at a program. I think Councilor Christian rep was there. There was this permanent secretary. He spoke. I just took off my mayor pin. I pinned it on him. He could not believe it. His wife is taking photos of him with the pin. He just won an award. You know, so it was such a huge thing for him. So what I'm saying, let's recognize these guys. They will never have this in their life.
Now instead of we can still do it. We will engage you. Maybe the individual that deserve it more. Yeah, the committee will look into it.
Exactly. So for me, even if you add it as an extra, if it's not already there, let every WDC pick somebody. Let every nominated councillor pick somebody. Let the mayor pick somebody for the mayor's award. And exclude the politicians from receiving. Let us just pick somebody. Thank you. You understand? Me and my farewell party, you can recognize me. Our cabinet.
You see, Lambert, I see the deputy mayor is picking me.
Yes,
thank you, Lord. I would like to ask if the councillors awarded with this ceremony. Yeah, that's the direct question that I have for the establishment chair.
Yeah, no, the councillors are the double DC will be awarded. Your double DC. You are the chairman of your double DC.
You cannot award yourself.
Yes, you cannot award, yes. You know, the initial stage, we were discussed that, you know, who will be the best ward. But, come on, we are all politicians. If they award Councillor of Latrikunda, you know, the other ward, because everybody is doing great, you know, as far as we know. So that's why we want to say we want to award all these, the 19 wards. But one of the nominated councillors, actually, one of the nominated councillors. So I think the business is about
yeah, so let me rephrase. I mean, like, committee-wise, like, let's say, to award a committee chair, so that's what I mean.
Okay, the committees, I don't think, you know, it's good to award the committees. But to be honest, we invite, if you look at the invitations, all the experts, all the 14 committees, you know, we give them invitation cards for their 2 experts to bless the occasion. I think only that is enough.
Yeah, Councillor, let's award the youth. You know, not award yourself. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Lord.
before we wrap up these things, all the suggestions and everything, we cannot do it without resources. Resources? Yes, resources. We wrote to CEO's office so that 30%, we demand only 30% from council. And if what we are expected from outside, if those things, if all those money come, we go back to council again. So what we want before, maybe today or tomorrow, if we can have all this, because we want to do the advertisement, and also the hours also, still now I cannot put it because I have some...
I think there's money.
Yes, yes.
But we'll work down.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, on the AOB, we have the Councillor of New Joshua of People Town. Can you present your AOB?
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you very much. I think it's 2 AOB. It's about the first one is the vehicle policy. Okay, all right. Yeah, the first one is WDC. Lord Mayor, if you look at the council, like you said, our focus as a council is for the people. The people interest is number one. And if you look all the WDCs, like I said, I want to make this suggestion at your office. We should have a committee, WDC should be under one committee, so that the committee will supervise, and also every meetings of the WDC, the minutes should come to that committee for review and to look at things and when they are resolution, to see how best we will solve all these problems. But we are in in the second quarter of the year. Still now the WDC cannot have their subvention. And come on, like you said, people, we want the council, people to feel that they have council, and council is serving their interest. If you went to our offices are not equipped. And if you look at the budget of council, every year you will see furniture, laptop. I was informed even today, yesterday, a thief come to community development and take all their laptops. Yeah. So it's yes. Yes. And even today, every time General Council, the clerk office, the secretaries are complaining, if they put something on this table, every General Council, they used to pick it. They even when I told them to go to the mayor's office for the camera, so that they know who you should pick up that thing. We have to be responsible. I think our offices are under the director. So please, we want our rent to be paid on time. Come on, I don't think it's a right for the council to come and complain to to the director of admin or to the CEO, my rent, my transport. Look, all these things are budgeted. You should have your plan. January, before on the 15th or before on the 30th, we want to pay all the rents. The WDCs, we want to pay all their 200,000 before this. But come on, it's like no one's care about our WDCs. And wallahi, if director's laptop goes broken or his internet is not broken, and the directors are having two internet connections, the one in the office and the double. So please, the councillor and last time I said it to Camaraba, the council's every councillor's tablets is budgeted, but we are in someone come on. It's like if we said we want to be close to the people, I think we have to change our attitude and respect policymakers, because look, for us, we enter every compound of our wards. And likewise, mayor also enter every compound of this municipality to campaign. They did not vote for directors. If they have any problem, their problems is direct to the mayor or a councillor. And I believe that's why last time when we have these budget sessions, I was talking about the 500,000, and I believe we still do it. If we don't believe politicians, and I think that is a bad signal for us as a policymaker who says we do not believe a council. Because how many, we have more than, some of the councillors, they have more than 2,000 or 3,000 votes, the mayor have 50-something thousand votes. They trust in that mayor to also you into council. Likewise, the council. So if only small group or 3 people or 4 people say that we do not trust the double DC, I think that's a big insult to be honest. If anybody do one practice here, just our last meeting, we have a meeting. I think MC councillor for business is my witness. There was one councillor. He have 2 meetings the same time. He want to sign this how to call it our meeting and also go to another meeting. I told him no. If auditors come, you cannot justify this thing. And I think the council told me, Habib, this is a good thing because look, we are trustworthy. If any one of us do anything that is not correct, come on, I think we have courts here. We have disciplinary to discipline you because you are even violating your oath of office. So please, Lord Mayor, we want you to put your weight in these things. We want our WDC to be. They have their 200,000. And also our rents, our car store, our office to be equipped. And there was a time when we have this meeting with the council. I said, look, the council themselves, they are the problem of themselves. Because anytime if we come here to debate something or the interest of our people, we have our own councillors that oppose that oppose themselves. But if the interest of the diverse came, they are very look, we have to, once are those days whereby, people will be working in their own interest. Our focus is the people. Lord Mayor, okay.
Clerk to council. I think clerk is responsible for all the WDCs. Yeah, responsible.
So I guess what you saw is, so they know we're trying to work on it. So, Honorable Council, I think in our past meeting, the office of the clerk was assigned to put up a steering committee so that we can work on the WDC fund. But notwithstanding, because we are also cognizant of the fact that there has to be some accounting procedures that has to be followed. Because when auditors come, it's another thing. So we want to do it in a policy form, and we have drafted this, and the development committee has a very big role to play. I think you were talking about reports from the WDC, so these are some of the issues that we have.
But you cannot present this here.
No, I'm just showing him so that he knows maybe by next council meeting we will present.
Okay, let's to be sure.
Councillor,
I think even before your memo came, our 3 management meeting, I told them the months are going, CEO, I've told them several times. And the councillors are getting impatient and requests are coming to my office. A lot of requests are coming to my office. And I keep meeting the CEO clerk. And about 2 months back, I told them, it's about time you start with this WDC program. Because one, what I really wanted was a lot of these roads to be graded before the rainy season. That was one of my main desires. Okay? But now that it's going late and late, my other concern is this is the time when we have revenue. And I told them one day a councillor will bring it to the council. I told them. This was 2 months back. So when you even sent the memo, I called him, I said, you see what I was telling you? Okay? So Clark, what I was saying from the very start, this committee should have been instituted the moment we announced it. This was last year. Okay? So and then the councillor, and what we said, you call each councillor, you discuss with the councillor. Each councillor, what are the capacity gaps, what are the issues? I do not agree that these are administrative issue. I think at the administrative level, it's implementation for the resources of the office. But in terms of troubleshooting, what is wrong with the office, where the capacity gaps, I think that is your steering committee. Okay? So it's good that you have done this draft, so you have to share it. Then before the next council meeting, we deliberate on it. But I think before the next council meeting, you should call each a councillor and even know their problems from the office resources and their programs. You understand? So when we come to that council meeting, right after the implementation of our road, because you cannot grade a road to the grade city, you know. So go wrong on bargaining. And they are just 90% roads in Mundo and Agora. They are not part of the problem. You understand? So councillor, if you can indulge, you wait till the next council, then you present this document.
I think what you said, that is the right thing. But we also have to acknowledge and also recognize the local government and what it says. Because when Clark was scrolling, I was going through on these things. He's saying that the CEO should be a signatory to WDC. That is not correct. The WDC is like I said, the KMC, we can have a monitoring board and also to be scrutinized and see all these things. But if the WDC have an emergency and CEO is nowhere to sign it. So please, what I'm saying, council have they have how to call it? They have auditors here. Direct audit. Direct audit can go to any office and request their files. So when they say CEO should be a signatory, it sounds funny.
This document,
So I guess this will wait until it is it will come to council and then we will discuss.
No, these are concerns that I want it. And our WDC, which is the World Development Committee, I think we have new WDC. Only few councillors select their WDCs.
That's true.
And I don't think if any councillor that doesn't select his WDC, that is our fault. For those who select their WDC, there should be a training program for them because most of our WDCs, they are new. We need council, we need the Office of the Community Development to function properly. There are a lot of queries that I wish BB should be here because there are a lot of talking in that unit. They said BB did not have anything. He went with the laptop, he went with the printer, everything. So, and I think any office here have a laptop, have a printer. If we deploy you to other offices, you should hand over. And I think Director of Admin, last time I told you this with HR, you should make sure any deployment or any appointment, you have to do handing over everything because that office is not personalized. That is the office. If anyone occupies that office, you are there for the meantime. You occupy in that office, but not you as an individual. So, and that office is one of the most important because it's a political office. They deal with the elected individuals to make sure that they supervise and also do anything that's supposed to do in that community. And I believe every ward they have a community development officer. But now I don't think all those things are in place. So we want Director of Admin to take in charge, sorry, the Director of Services, because that office is under the Director of Services, to restructure that office, because that office is council. They report to the grassroots, they report from the grassroots to council. That office needs to be equipped, and I believe that office, when you come in terms of human resources, they are equipped, because we have only BSc degree holders in that field, but they are not utilizing them.
So I think your point is, Clark, your steering committee more of control.
Yeah.
To ensure that, because all these offices, like I said, Director of Admin will implement, community development will implement, but who's exercising oversight? So folks that committee be functional. Alright? Then when you are ready, you share the draft.
Yeah. So for the second part of your question about the offices, that was placed directly on the office of the Director of Admin. They are responsible of the offices, the equipment, everything. So that is not within our purview. It's only the WDC fund that was given to us. So anything relating to offices, it's same. That's why
what we are saying, Clark,
yes.
The steering committee should have a wider mandate to look after the WDCs. You understand? Because every function of this council, there's an oversight committee. So create your committee terms of reference to look over the WCs. Not that you are going to implement the offices, but you will exercise oversight on the administration to implement the offices. And ensure that there are resources. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Back out.
Thank you very much, Governor, and thank you very much, establishment of the chair. I think that you have raised a very important point here, the double disease. The double diseases are the body of the council that we work as a council. Without the possible double disease, some of the achievements will come out. And when we came in, I want to remind the councillors and the community service managers here, we said we have to form a double disease. And the double diseases have not been formed. They started in some ports and then eventually stopped. And I learned that the fund had been dispersed for that unit in order to form the double disease. You have to start with the subwater and the formation of double disease. But up till now, we have not started anything from them. And I've been complaining. We have been talking about these things. So if the double disease fund needs to be dispersed, now when it disperses to the account now, who are the bodies going to sit and decide how to implement these double disease? And then when the community development manager was trying to defend that, a new council have to come up with a new double disease numbers. That's what was said in the office here. They started president trying to form the double disease, but they went up to certain state, they stopped. Some words, I think they did to the 2 or 3 some words, and they did not even complete it. And some of our words, like Bakao, they did not come. Last time they called me, they said they are coming. I even informed my people, and then they said they will not come because there's nothing hand over to them. And there's no working tool that they are going to use to form the double disease. So I don't know what is happening. So this thing needs to be clear. We have been saying this country here, and we want to agree on it, and eventually it started and we stop. What will make it stop? And these are the things that we should know. And now we are requesting for this double disease fund to be discussed. And it's actually hard time for double disease fund to be discussed. But what is holding them now, coming to the world to form the double disease and to train them? Nothing has been done. Thank you.
All right, if we can suspend this, because we are going to talk about it again. How much do you want to go out? We're going to go more than a year. So don't waste our time. You want to waste our time?
I just want to go back to this point. The WBC is very important. The delay partly is because your WBC are not formed. And then you, the councillors, have a very important role to play. Don't point fingers to community service or to management committee. You have a very important role to play because when you were voted, it is very clear in local government, even at the low level, you can constitute the ward development. It says, first you start with the sub-ward. Of majority of you, 90% of you have experience in the constitution of the ward development and your sub-ward development fund. You should try by all means, because we all know we talk about ward development committees, and that affects the implementation of some of the programs of council at the ward level. So this time around, let us not go in for that. Let's ensure we have a very good ward development committee. Whenever development partners come, you will not run to your neighbor or your friend or your relative to form a team. But you will ensure that your ward development committee continue to persist. There are ward development committees here who have been conducting meetings, who are implementing activities, 100%. But there are others who cannot even produce personnel when it comes to grassroots development. And if we wanted to be certain about that, you cannot be given funds when there is inefficiency, when actually the committee is non-existent. It's against the law. So it is important before we get to the discussion or even to the disbursement, the councillors who knew very well that you don't have a ward development committee, start formation of the ward development. It does not require any resources from council. You can communicate your field officer and say, look, can you come and assist me
in sub-ward so. Immediately they start at the sub-ward level, identify to men, women, you get the Ward Development Committee as simple. So why not we do that as quickly as possible? So that before the next meeting, when we have a meeting agreed on the criteria, the fund can be disposed and we all move on without waiting for community service or community development, and we will get there.
You know, we are going to talk about this.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me the floor. For me, I'm very disappointed with the entire council. Because if you guys remember, is it last year, I advised the council, let us not resolve the double disease twice, two general council. But some people think like I have another agenda telling us that it's the councillors who should go and enforce the double disease. I'm so disappointed. Thank you.
I want to come up. I think who are the people, who are the body responsible for helping the council to form a double disease? That is community services. That is why when he said to the council here, and the community service manager was called to defend. And he spoke to us that all the double DC need to be resolved and form a new double DC. And the resources have been given to him, to the unit, to do that formation of the double DC. Now, if the double DCs have not been formed, that's not the blame of the councillors. And when you look at the community service, most of the wards here now, because my community service officer who was at my ward has secured a job at Embassy. Since then, there's no replacement. So, the blame will not come to councillors, and the councillors are not the right person to form the double disease. You see? Because he said it should be appointed. When we involve forming the double disease, they may think that we are putting our own people to work with. That is why the community service involvement is very, very important. And then as we collaborate with the councillors, we can select different people, we can advise with their advice, we can select different people and bring them to the double disease. But if the person, someone have done before, the police are and the phone has been discussed. So who are the responsible? So you want us to go to our work to form our double disease. If they want that, we can do that. That's very simple. We can do that. But it's not the right, it's not right for councillors to handpick people and say that now you people are going to double disease and work with. It's not right. That is why the community service is important. That's why the rule and regulation have been set up to make sure that at least we have a fair and transparent double disease to work with.
Okay. Can we have farmers rep?
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor, for giving me the floor. This thing, I think, is a big problem. Why I'm saying that there should be an intervention of the council or the community development people. We are having problems at the ward that I'm living. I think my councillor, the honorable councillor, go to Manja, we have a big problem to set how to call it, WDC committee at that ward level, because they are saying that it should be a village committee, something like that, which is being changed, that it should be one development committee. What they are insisting, that village development committee, that's what they're going to have. So we were unable to form this committee there. So that's why we are saying that community service has to intervene and come and explain the rules and regulations, because they are not listening to the councillor. They see the councillor is doing it like a political thing, so they don't respect the word of the councillor. Myself, I was there to intervene, to explain to them, for them to understand why we say ward development committee and it's not just related. We are not living the dream now. So things have to change. That change has to be explained for them to understand. Communication is very important. We have to communicate to our people. And there is people responsible for doing that communication. Why not, when they call for those people to come and intervene and do that job, it's lacking. So it's a problem. So I'm happy with Mayor to step in and say to the people to do their job.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
We have totally Manja and close.
Thank you very much. Lord Mayor, I think as a council, when we start from zero, we should go upward and complete it. The beginning of this council, I think there was this that we should all, actually like the council for Kennedy said, we should, the former ward council, ward development ward should be abolished, and we start a fresh one. And this was a problem to most of the newcomers who came to this council, because what they found, as we are politicians, what we found on the ground was that actually, those committees which were there doesn't favor we the new councillors. So in that way, we have to change it, but we have to change it in a way that it should, actually be not something like, nothing like biasness or whatsoever. So there we come to engage this community development, and they started it by installing the sub-ward committees. But in the end, they don't complete, because as the chairman like the councillor of Igbo Town said, the community development who was there, Mr. Bibida, was not, actually he didn't complete what he was doing. And this brings us to the halt. We didn't continue. And we cannot do it for ourselves, because as politicians, if we are trying to do it, what they will see is that we are going to select our own people and put them there. And this will bring chaos. So instead, we prefer bringing people outside, like the community development, who knows, and in fact, talk to our people to understand this is not political, this is, actually something like it's the law which said it, and it has to be done properly. In that case, I think still, the council should come to our aid, especially with the new councillors. Because as for me, still I'm using my old signatories who were there before. And it's very difficult for me sometimes to go behind them. I will chase them. The other one travel. He is in Somalia right now. I have only 2 who are here. But some of them, in fact, to get to them is a problem. So I cannot change it overnight. And I cannot just handpick them. So I want these people, the community development to come and complete this thing so that it can help us. Thank you.
Thank you
very much for giving me the floor. How do you call it? Farmers rep has said something, and then the problem I have is very little, to be honest, because I have said all my sub-ward committee at Manja, and then they were challenging me, and I left them there. But my problem is at Kotukwari, because they were fighting. The day we were sitting in that sub-ward committee, they were fighting, and the officers were there, and then they have done a very good job. Development office. To be honest, they have done their job. They were fighting, and I went there and I explained to them, this is not about fighting, this is about your development. And yet, they are not organized. I am on it to explain to them that this thing, we need it, otherwise, you will not be part of the double dish. This is what the problem, this is what I have. But so far, I have set all my sub-ward committees at Manjai's level, but at Kotukwari, because even I want to bring an emotion about Kotukwari and Kotu layout, because the community is too big. So this is my problem, and then thank you very much, Lord Mayor.
Yeah, thank you once again. I believe I'm encouraging every councillor to read your document, please. If you are reading the Local Government Act, all the unnecessary agreements that happens here will not happen. If you went to section 101, he explained in detail how a ward development committee, because section 96 to 101 explain about the sub-ward, because we do not have a village development committee. It explains in detail the structures, and I think as a community head, you are the chairman of the community. You should be responsible, honestly, because you went to every compound to ask them for their votes, and I believe you explained what you should do for them. So the ward development committee, I think, if it's not political, to be honest. It should not be, political. And I believe if you want to set up in a structure whereby you want to favor certain people, come on, you will not achieve anything at the end of the day. Because for me, I have enough experience in this ward development committee. The selections, it's better you select someone who you are in the same party with, better than someone you are in the same party with. When community development came to my ward, 2 times we are postponing the selection of our WDC. Because I told him, look, this WDC is representing the entire ward of this community. So if only certain people came, come on, I don't think we should select the WDC. That would represent the whole community. And thirdly, we were very successful. Even I think the Councillor for Human Rights was there the day we were selecting our WDC. Every corner of our ward is represented, and we select the WDC like the local government access. If you go to section 96 up to 108 or 110, explains in detail the formation of the ward, the sub-ward committee, the ward development committee, the subcommittees. So please, and I believe to dissolve the WDC is in line with the Local Government Act. It's in line. We have new councillors, and the chairman of the council should dissolve. If you have a very dedicated committee, you maintain them. You maintain them. But I believe it's in line with if new councils came, mayor to dissolve the WDC is in line. Or council, not the mayor, the council to dissolve. And I think, when we pass the resolution, every councillor should respect the decisions of the council to dissolve the WDC. If you want to, if you don't want to dissolve the WDC, just call them for a meeting. This is what the council says. But for us, I would like, if anybody interested in any position, you contest. And you go on with the activity. No councillor or alcalde or imam on the WDC. The WDC is owned by the people. Because you are elected by the people and answerable to the people. So, way forward, please, let all the WDC, all the councillors, they engage community development, to go and do their election and have their WDC. Because without this WDC, it will be very difficult for us to work. Just last week, Mayor, I went to the companies we have within New Joseph Ibotan. We visited them. And we have very fruitful discussions with the police credit union. And other the same thing to best water also. So because the council cannot do it alone. You need to go and lobby for. That is the responsibility of each council and the subcommittees. Tomorrow, my youth and sport committee, they have to meet, to discuss this upcoming inheritance and have their plan for this year. So I believe council, like a clerk office, should be responsible. Every quarterly, the World Development Committee have to submit their minutes, so that we look into their progress when they are making meetings. What is their resolutions? And from there, council will take up those things. And if, for example, if Igbo towns need a market, when they say that Igbo town, to be honest, they need a market, the council review may can even put it on this agenda and say, next year I want a market at Igbo town. Yes.
So please, this is not about council and the community development. We are the council. We make policy, and we are reporting to our people that elect us. We will assign the community development to do what is expected from them. But if you want to come and argue here unnecessary argue, I think it will not take us to any place. If we want anything, let's discuss it and tell them, look, this is what you're supposed to do according to the local government act. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. I don't think we need to labor on this. The councillor is the chairman of the WDC. Nobody can pick your WDC for you. It's not possible. You know, you have the staff cannot pick it for you. I cannot pick it for you. That's why you are the chairman of the board. That's why you are elected. You are the chairman of, if you know the company, the board of directors. You are the chair. You appoint the board of directors. So basically, it's going to be futile if you expect community service to come to you, and they are there for technical support, and they are there to observe that the processes and the laws are respected. But you are the chairperson. You have to do the job. And if they are not coming, whether they come or not, does it have effect on them? But if your WDC is not set up, it will affect you as the councillor. So if they are not coming, you should take the initiative and go to them. You understand? And what I don't understand, we had 19 councillors before last election. Out of these 19 councillors, I believe 14 are re-elected. So I should just even hear 5 people complaining. Because all of you are re-elected. You all have experience. You know, so you should be able to repeat this, because the last WDCs, a lot of them were very effective. And the reason Tantalini Gilifitukunda market happened is because the ward came to complain, and then we budgeted for the following year. And I have been telling councillors over and over again, if you know your power, you are a powerhouse. Within your ward, how many businesses are there? How many people with money are there? How many people with influence and position are there? There is no party leader who does not live in a ward. There is no government official that does not live in a ward. There is no business that is not situated in a ward. So every important person you hear in society, every important business you hear in society is either based or from or lives in a ward. So sometimes even the mayor doesn't have to call a business guy for you. I live in Kololi. The business guy you want me to call is living in Bakau. And you live in Bakau with that business person. So if you structure your ward, if you have a relationship with your residents and constituents, it's going to be very easy for you. You can get a lot of connections. You can get a lot of resources. You understand? But if you are not structured, also it will be very difficult for you to progress. Okay? So those who are sitting up to 1 year now, you don't have a WDC, it's illegal. It's illegal. I did not even know that. You know, and then the guy who was, Bibi Dabo, who was there, he's out of there. Yes, he should hand over, but you cannot blame him if your WDC is not saying, he's gone. What we can do is hold him accountable if money was given to them. But at the end of the day, I think the ultimate responsibility will be on you, the council. Okay? So please, before the next general council, that is when we take up this matter seriously. Please, those without WDCs, act with urgency. You are operating on an illegal basis. You are doing a one-man show. Okay? And nobody can come and pick your WDC member. You have to pick them in line with the act. And then the community service can be there as your observer or technical assistant. Okay? So let's rest that matter there. The next AOB.
Yes, the next is the presentation I did here, I think a few months back, about the vehicle policy that my committee designed and presented to the General Council. It was adopted, and as far as any resolutions that Council passed, it became a law. So we cannot understand the way vehicles have been disposed and the way fuels have been distributed. It's not in line with the policy we designed. So we want, we put a red flag as a committee to the council, which is headed, the administration really headed by the CEO, and also
the chairman of General Council, which is the mayor, to put it to you that, you know, the vehicles, most of the vehicles are not parking here right now. All the vehicles have been personalized, and which is a violation as far as the policy is concerned. So we want to put it to your notice that, you know, such things should not happen. Because these vehicles are our assets. If you see the lifespan of our vehicle, they depreciate monthly, yearly, even weekly, because of the way they use the vehicle. So we want, there should be a form of a control. And the police, if you look at the documents, the role that police should play is mentioned in that document. The police are not doing their work as expected. So for us as a committee, if you are not doing what is expected from you, then the only thing, this is our platform, council. Wallahi, if I come to General Council, I feel like I'm a kid, wallahi. Because this is my platform, this is where I should address anything that is inside me. So please, from the directors, they have to respect Council's document. And make sure any police, any document, any single phrase or paragraph or sentence should be respected. Because like I said, we are answerable to our people. And these are the people's at the end of our contracts. The duration of the 4 years, we will go back to them to renew our contract. And for me, as far as I know, this is my last time to be a councillor. This is, I took this decision before I elected again. To be a councillor. Maybe I can be a president or a mayor or but honestly, please, we want councils, we improve a lot.
Thank you.
And in performance base, we want council, our human resources also to be improved. The budget when we came here, the budget was 150. Now the budget is more than 300,000. Sorry, 300 million. So please, we want from the directors, CEO, we want to see that improvements in your dealings. Let's respect council's documents in any document, either the vehicle policy, the service scheme, whatever documents that this General Council adopt and it became a law, please let's try to accept it. And for the vehicle, please, Mayor, I don't know whether I will put it in this way, but next year we should not talk about vehicles. We found this council, they don't have no vehicle, or there is no good vehicle in this council. How many vehicles did we bought? And if those vehicles are not taking good care, then it means that we are wasting taxpayers' money. So please, I want the resolution and the vehicle policy. Let the police take their stand. Let the CEO also take his stance. Let the directors admit the custodians of the vehicles. Let it take his stand and look at the documents and implement it the way it should be. Thank you.
Thank you. I think there's no need to labor on the issue. I think this is the second time in this year you complain about this. But I think the committee now, because remember it's an oversight body, if it is come to your attention that a vehicle is not in compliance with the vehicle policy, you have various avenues. A, you can write to the director of admin and say this has come to your notice, so let him explain. If he cannot explain, then the committee must take measures such as a recommendation to the general body for one action or the other. So I think all committees, as much as it's a policy-making body, it is an oversight body. Oversight meaning you are ensuring compliance according to the policies and the laws that guide that department. So you've said it twice or 3 times. You've raised the flag. Now at the committee level, you can, the director of admin is sitting there, the custodians of all these things are sitting there. You can summon even the municipal police and ask them, as per the law, why are they not doing this and that and that? Compliance director is here. Okay? So this is what governance is about. Just on Friday, I had a long lecture with all the line departments about governance and policies. It should happen automatically. Okay? We make policies to create guidance and to create order. It's a rules-based system. But we should not stop at, because what I see is the committees are now graduating from policy making, now they're going into oversight. So I think you are the force to create the policy. Others have not. But now you have created policies, now you should also graduate to oversight. Because there are policies that has been created, that has been endorsed, that have been approved. Now the committee must now exercise oversight of some of these policies to ensure that there is compliance. So the various, any director, any staff can be summoned to any committee to answer questions. Okay? So you can write directly to the director and say, this report has been brought to our attention. And then you copy my office. And then based on the steps that are taken, the following meeting, the committee can come to a decision. Whether they are going to recommend to the general body or they are going to caution that department and say, look, we don't want to take action, please correct it, we give you this much time. In that way, a lot of these problems will not come back to council unless it is like you've exhausted every avenue. Okay, but I also agree, a lot of the vehicles, if I had it, no vehicle will be personalized. I think we've been talking about this since 2018. If we had it, we will pay our directors very well so they can go out and take their own loans and buy their own vehicles. And every vehicle will be parked for the usage of the council, because that is the right system. Just when we went to Madison, councillor is here, we went to one police station. Outside the police station, there was 150 police cars. One station. It's like you go to Serakunda station, and just 150 police cars in the park. In the police, they come, they park their private, they go into their police vehicle, they come, they park their police vehicle, they go home in their private. That's the way it's supposed to be, but it's a rich nation, they can afford it. But if we could control our own finances as a council, maybe instead of buying a vehicle, because $2 million, $3 million, you give it to a director to personalize it. Why don't you pay that director $100,000 a month? It might be even cheaper, because that vehicle, after 5 years, you depreciate it, you have to buy another 3 million vehicle, 4 million vehicle, 5 million vehicle. It's better you get that person well paid, okay? But because of the system Gambia we have adopted, we want to buy 100 vehicles for 100 staff. That's why we can never have money, you know. But anyway, that is long-term thinking. Short-term, you have created a policy, you want it to be respected by all means, but let us move to oversight. Now, the committees that have never designed a policy, you should look at your affairs again. There are committees that are not even meeting, and it's affecting us. I don't want to name names, but there are committees that are affecting us because they are not meeting. They are not creating policies. They are not doing oversight. So those departments that should function under their purview, they don't perform because nobody is checking them. You know. So please, by all means, if you are a committee chair, you know yourself. Whether you are meeting or not meeting, you know yourself. Some of the committees, your experts have even gone away, because if you don't engage them, they are not going to be busy. But this year, the committee that has beaten everybody is the contracts committee. The appointment you have been overthrown. The contracts committee this year more, I think right now is performing above. Okay? So one is because the chair is calling meetings. Two is because the expert is very energized. You have an amazing expert. But let me tell you, all these experts, they're amazing. Look, when establishment last year, when Modu Gay was performing. Maybe this year because of he has busy, but the committee is still meeting, they're still creating. So please, whichever committee you are, I'm not saying it's all, it's just few. Some of them are not functioning, and if you don't function, the council cannot function. Because you have to bring, mayor, when last did I bring an agenda here? Very long. Unless announcement, So it's the committee who should bring the agendas that run the affairs of the council. and rightly so. Okay, so I think that's that point. So let's move to oversight. The last AOB from Taninding South Council.
Yes, thank you so much, Lord Mayor, for giving me the opportunity. Documents that we drafted are supposed to be served to the councillors, but the document is not still been given to councillors. It's regarding DVRs about these thickness allowances. We did a lot of research about it since 3 or 4 months ago. But at the community level, we are on. So, but along the way, before we finalize on the thing and I'm going to be printed out, the appointment and establishment called my attention that these two need to be engaged. If you think about 23 people are benefiting from the IFMIS allowances per month is about $99,500. So the time we calculated it was roughly about $1.2 million, which was huge. Now the number has been sliced down to 14, and then even the payment amount is also 40% has been quoted. For example, the CEO was earning about $7,500. At the community level, it was reduced to about $3,000. So, but the appointment and establishment committee advised. Otherwise, if we come to the general council, there will be an issue. They are the people who are managing our payroll, and they are the people who determine the wages or allowances that everyone should have. But we hope our next committee, after engaging them, will be able to present do the presentation. Thank you.
So you are just announcing?
Yes, yes.
But there is no action to be taken?
There was an action done at the committee level, but the appointment and establishment say that it is their role and responsibility to allocate allowances.
So they will recommend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we put red flag to this IFMIS allowance, we tasked the finance committee to recommend and put it to our committee so that we will look into it and also make our recommendations together with the finance committee chair. But I think the way, the manner and the way he wants to do it, I think it's not correct. And I believe if we understand the politics behind it, but we do not want to reach there. But the most important thing, if you want to take 41,000 every month for an IFMIS allowance, if you look at into your TOR, it's from 8:30 to 4 o'clock. You are not using the IFMIS at home. So if you want to recommend anything, you have to do your feasibility study. You have to look into the software, the people using the software, how many directors. But we saw there are some directors that does not even receive that allowance. So I think, finance committee, they should do things in their own concept, but if they want to do it to please individuals, and I don't think, that is our intention as a council. We want to address the needs and aspirations of our people. That is our primary objective. But if you want to recommend because of the director X and Y is disturbing you, so I believe, please, the most important thing, we are here to capacitize and upgrade our staff. But anything that is not done in a good faith or in a right process, I think all council members should discourage that. So that is for us. If the documents come to our committee, we have experts there, and we will make sure that we do our proper consultations together with the directors and also the CEO is aware, and currently also when we went to the Ministry of the Ministry for Budget Bilateral, I mentioned these allowances there. I don't know whether it's a director or a permanent secretary. He said, no, they want to live in or no. How can you use a software which is they impose software on you, and at the same time you are paying the software again? Does it make sense? So please, This is their small deals that they want to, you know, put this.
Thank you very much, thank you very much, my financier. Alright, I just have a response. Alright, because when the finance company meet, it doesn't mean that you have not done our homework correctly. We have done our homework. And we have done our feasibility studies. And we know that people who are using these companies at the level. And not only this council that is paying the allowances for their companies users. Other councils are also there, and we make our consultations. And when we are meeting also, we invite the directors who are affected. Alright? We invited them and we asked them. And they told us that the people that are using the ITMIS in their office. And this ITMIS, it doesn't mean that it's an impost. But it's something that all the ministries, the local governments, they are all using it. And even some of the local governments are paid more than the council are paid to the ITMIS users. So now when we meet, we look at the numbers, like the chair said, we discuss the numbers of 0.28 now to I think 14 or something like that. And even the pay they receive, 7,000 we slice to 3,000. I think that's a sort of improvement. Right? But doesn't mean that we are trying to entice some of the directors or they are imposing on us. It's not that. We also follow the rules and the regulations, and we do our physical study, we do our homework properly. That's why we consultate, we do the consultations. For how many months? Just last week meet so that we can make a final decision and present to the general council. So the chairman told me, now the establishment chair said, we cannot do that alone. They are the very one responsible for the payrolls or something like that. So now it has to go back to them. We make our recommendations, and we come up with a solution, and we have to submit to them. Also to see, but it doesn't mean that we are trying to entice some of the directors of Yara or their enforcement or something like that. The company did fairly, and we do our, business, and we have done our consultation, and we all agreed, and then we slide the payment down. Some of them who are receiving 3,000 are being reduced to 2,000. Some of them, who are receiving 4,000, reduced to 7,000, reduced to 3,000. I think that's a fair one. But we should not try to fight about it means users, not to use these things. If you are working, you are paid. But even if you have the holidays, you are staying at home, you are not paid for that allowances. I think that's very fair. That's very fair. This is very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think let's wait till the issue is reviewed by the establishment and then is brought back properly for a proper debate. Because this debate has been ongoing back and forth for a very long time. But since both committee chairs have come to an understanding that it's been reviewed by the finance chair, now the establishment committee will sit and review. Once their inputs are done and sent back to the finance chair, at that point the finance committee can decide when, how, in what manner are they going to present it to the council, if even. Okay, but a debate here again will be premature, since they have informed us that it's been looked at by the finance committee and sent for comments to the establishment. So let's wait for that. All right, I think today is a record general council. It means that we are working more efficiently. So we can close with prayers. Market chair is not here, but I would really like for him to work on that Mbari Padembo, because it's a project we would love for it to happen. All right, so
I would like our next intervention, if you can put, because we have a Eid, and I think, the revenue last time I told them, but maybe
go ahead.
Maybe he was busy with other stuff. But I think after every feast, the markets and the revenue have to report back. Oh, there's no because during the exercise, I found out that they collect less. And if you look at the sewing machines are increasing, and the tax also is going up. So, and most of when I do this sewing at the work, I find out that a lot of these, a lot of the tailors, they have their receipts, but the receipts, the way they sign the receipts, at times it's kind of funny. So we need a comprehensive report from the license and the revenue, so that you know, or the revenue committee have to meet and also assess, because the market also there was a very successful how do they call these things? Yeah, one year, very successful this year. So, and we need to know the figures. You know, please, next meeting.
All right. I think clerk, you are in the committee meeting. Notify the market committee that after 1 tears, some of the councillors are asking what the revenues are. Although I don't think there's an official 1 tear, it's just maybe a surge in market, because the council decided a while back that we are not going to organize 1 tear. In fact, there's been protests in the market against 1 tear. But we, as the council, did not organize officially any 1 tear. So any 1 tear organized there is going to be at the market level. So I think all these issues, he should come and update the council, because when I came back from Madison, I had to query almost 3 or 4 market, I don't know if they are protests or not, but dissatisfaction. And I had a lot of information. But it's better for him to come and give a proper presentation about what is happening, because you are all hearing it. You hear it on the media, you hear it from market vendors. So I think the market committee should give a presentation on what is happening in some of these markets. So we'll let it till he comes back.
Yeah, so look, you know, if you can remember.
No, point of order. The council agenda is finished. Yes, so councillor.
You know, when the president make a proclamation about the roads, you know, presidents make proclamations that the roads will be free.
Yes.
I think they are using that proclamation to do the 1 thing. But I want to take it in a much bigger context. I think for 1 thing, since inception, my father do 1 thing at Banjul every year. That is a culture. That's a culture we find out here. So it's only, in a common sense, how many people are benefiting from the 1 thing? But if only few shop owners during those days at Banjul.
Okay, councillor.